Hey everybody, this video is going to be about different ways to bond with your tarot deck. Whenever I look things up, because I'm always like trying to find new creative ways to bond with my deck more, especially since I switched decks rather quickly. My original tarot deck wasn't fully illustrated, and I wanted something that was fully illustrated to help me learn the meanings. Anyway, when I look things up, I always see, like, sleep with it under your pillow, and I feel like I can't do that, because I share a bed. And maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal if, like, I don't know, if you were on, like, a queen-size bed, and, like, you can just, one person sleeps here, one person sleeps there. But, I share a twin bed, generally, and we, like, half share pillows, so I think that would be really confusing for the cards. And like, I don't know, maybe not. But for me, it just didn't seem like a very good choice, especially since my girlfriend and I kind of like toss and turn a bit. Well, a little bit. So I made, you can see in my planner, I made a little, I had a little brainstorming session while I was in economics. um, about different ways to bond with your deck that aren't sleeping with them. That sounds funny. But I got sewing them a pouch was a big one for me. This is my pouch that I use. It's denim. Like, you're traditionally supposed to use like a black, like silk or like nice fabric, but that's not really my style. I like to reuse things. So yeah, I just took, cut part of a pant off, um, and like hemmed the inside. If you can see that, it kind of looks gross. And then I made it like a little longer than my deck, because my deck fits in here like this, and then this folds over, and then I take the cord and wrap it around, and then go around the button. It keeps it nice and safe, and they really like it. So yeah, and I sewed that by hand. I have a machine, and with a machine it would take like 2 seconds, which was one of the reasons why I did sew it by hand, because I wanted to like have my. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I thought my camera turned off. I wanted to have my own energy infused into it. So yeah, sewing in a pouch, good stuff. Even if you can't like sew very well, I would recommend doing it. Just because, I mean, it's the thought that counts, right? um, my second thing that I have listed is watch TV with them, which might sound a little weird, but I find it that I find myself just wanting to spend time with my cards and not necessarily do anything with them. So like while I'm watching TV, just like, holding them, like spreading them out, just touching them, like feel like, I don't know, just that physical contact I think makes a really big difference. And especially when you're not like consciously even paying attention to them, but there's some like subconscious connection there. Three, yeah, I'm on 3. I don't know how many there are. I was trying to get like a good number, like 12 ways to blah blah blah, but I guess I'm just not that creative. But 3, I actually got this idea from Dusty White, I believe. I was listening to his podcast. He's the author of The Easiest Way to Learn Tarot Ever, which everyone says is just the best book, and I need it. I really, really want it. But I try to like shop at half price books all the time, and it's never there. But anyway, he had one of our like little assignments for his podcast was to like sort the cards into different groupings. And I kind of thought it was silly, but I ended up doing it anyway. So I like sorted them into like, well, I have like positive connotations and negative connotations, and then I like went through the negative cards and thought about like, well, why do I feel that way, and what's their actual meaning. Or you can sort them into like aggressive or passive, or just whatever way you want to. But that was really helpful in just like seeing all the cards and like seeing how they interact together. things like that. 4, I have read with them. This is kind of what I do. I do this with my stones as well. But I like to read, like I'll either read like The Fool's Journey to my whole deck, or I'll like draw a card and like read about the artwork of the card out loud to the card, or I'll read about the meaning or whatever, just because I feel like it helps me like make the mental connection. And I don't know, it's just kind of nice. Meditate or visualize with them. I know just because you're interested in tarot reading or are a tarot reader doesn't mean you necessarily practice any religion or practice any like spell work or magic, but if you do, incorporating tarot really helps. And yeah, and if you don't, I mean like you can do I'm sorry. Visualizations. I've had a long weekend. Like in a secular way. Like one thing that I do, like I will light like a purple candle and like either just like hold them and like picture like a ribbon or something like wrapping my hands to the cards, or I'll like place them on my forehead or just whatever makes you feel connected to them. What are we on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Carry them around everywhere. This is like sort of like almost like a more like primal thing, because like bonding with your deck, basically like you're just trying to create attachment. You know what I mean? You don't want to just be like, oh, any old. Well, theoretically, you don't want to be like, oh, any old deck. You want like your deck. It's yours, and you're connected to it, and it's no one else touch it, and all that stuff. So just carry them around with you to normalize them being there, and then you also have all sorts of opportunities to like take them out and like do readings for people, or just just look at the cards or whatever. I find myself like I'll be like waiting in the car when someone's like at the gas station or something, and I'll like take mine out and go through them. 6, that was 6, right? Sure. 7. Get a feel for what they look. Get a feel for them without the book. And I don't do this as much as I should. But I've been working with them for a while longer, and I have a fully illustrated deck that really helps. I've been really working on not doing readings necessarily, but just drawing a card, looking at it, and like try to tell from like the artwork or just like any sort of like emotion I get from the card what it means. And while doing this, I tried to be careful, because sometimes when I'll do a reading, I'll just be like, wow, all those cards look really negative. That sucks. This reading sucks. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Which is not good, because I mean that's not necessarily true. So the trick for me has been like trying to get like my emotion, like a reading of the card through my emotions, but without placing judgment on the card, I guess. But that's been a really great exercise in bonding with my deck and trusting myself, because what I'll do after is like after I think about it for a while and try to like well I feel like this card is really about like protection or something, then I'll reference a book and see how I was doing. And that really is a good confidence builder as well, because you'll find that like more and more often that you'll be right. Just the more exposure you get. And then my last one is incorporating the cards into your thoughts and conversation, if possible. Obviously, like, there's people who wouldn't want to be like, that just reminds me of the magician, because you have everything you need right on your table. And, you just gotta use your tools. Like, some people will not react well to that. Some people will think that, like you're living in, like, some sort of weird mystic fantasy world, or that you're too involved or obsessed or whatever. But I think that, like, while you can't use that with every person in your life, I personally have people who I can do that with, which has been nice. And if you don't really have anyone you can do that with, just like thinking to yourself, like relating your own journey to the fool's journey, or a suit, like, like, oh, like, I think about swords or whatever. That has just really helped me, like, familiarize myself with, like, the language and the archetypes and things like that. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you have any other good bonding with your deck ideas that aren't sleeping with them under your pillow, feel free to comment, because I would love to hear them. I like to spice things up and do new things. So yeah, see you later.